Game tips off. The NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game, so even if you missed the opening tip-off or want to bet on a fourth-quarter comeback, you can stay in on the action. And if you're looking for bigger payouts, you can combine your live bets into a same-game parlay. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if their first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to join today. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. So, Brad, I'm not sure if you heard the other day, but Anthony Edwards, after the NBA All-Star game, was basically asked, do you have any interest in being the face of the league? And he said, no, I really have no interest. I don't want to do that. And then LeBron James was asked about what Anthony Edwards said, and this was what LeBron said in response to Anthony Edwards saying, don't really want to be the face of the league. Here's LeBron.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but like, I don't know. Why do you want to be the face of a league when all the people that that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis on everybody? I mean, that responsibility. It's just weird. It's weird energy from the people that I don't know, but. Channing, he said it. He said it perfectly. Couldn't have said it no better. But Ant said he don't want it. Obviously I didn't ask for it, but I knew there was a responsibility for me, not only to my family, my friends, my community, and whoever that was going to follow my journey throughout my career. Not only in Ohio when I started there, but all over America and all over the world when I traveled all over the world. So. I've always taken that seriously and understood from the beginning what being a professional was all about and being a role model was all about. So try to hold that with the utmost respect and honor. But I feel I understand. I completely understand. This is weird energy when it comes to that. So.
Right, you obviously in a previous generation. You work in the media now for this current media landscape with the current generation of NBA players. Do you think the media and fans are more harsh and, lack of a better word, meaner to NBA guys than they were 2-3 decades ago?
Well, I think the landscape has changed. I mean, you add Twitter and ways we can get to folk now, right? I mean, I think it's just a different level here of access, which gives people more ability to formulate opinions on people. There's 24-hour sports networks that are in play now, or social media networks, or podcasts out here that can if you're listening to certain folks, they can turn the tide on you and on the way you think. But I will tell you this: I will tip my hat to LeBron James because it is something to be the face and carry a league. And all that comes with that, and no disrespect to anyone. My former teammate carried this league, carried it with a ton of pressure. It wasn't like Jordan wasn't asking for it, right? But there's a sense of responsibility. So I'm dismayed that Anthony Edwards is like, I don't want to be the face of the league. No, you want to be the face of the league here because it's not you about being the face of the league. You've been bestowed an honor here. You heard LeBron just refer to it. You have to carry that because you're going to pass that at some point on to someone else. You care about the product here. Now, is the venom different? Is the venom any stronger? No. Is the venom different? Only slightly because of the way you have access to people, right? And so with that, and then the other side of it, let me be clear. You're making way more money than anybody. That gives you 1,000 more arrows coming your way, right? You want the money, you get the arrows. That's just how it works, right? I sit in a job every day. I take arrows every day, right? Everybody not happy, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you got to be confident in what you're doing. See, that's one thing I tell people all the time. You can't shake me. I got confidence in what I'm doing because I know I'm doing it for the right reasons, right? But if you sit here and listen to every avenue that comes at you, Twitter, this, whatever, I ain't got time for that. You ain't talking about nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. It's just like McShane. You ain't talking about nothing.
Yeah.
I said, I ain't seen McShane go out there and play nothing.
Yeah.
Who you play? Where you play at?
No consequences for being wrong either.
No.
They got another mock draft out ready to go.
So I'm going to just tell you that.
No consequences.
There's a generation here. There's a generational change. Now LeBron is sensitive because they stay on him, right? Because LeBron is against the greatest.
Yeah,
you will never surpass in some people's mind the greatest, right? You're not, right? And so I don't care how many points you score, what you do. You're not gonna do that.
That demeanor that he got, OG.
You're not gonna do it.
But here's the thing. This is crazy. At one point in time, well, you kind of see it a little bit. LeBron had the only face of the league that was a little upset. If you remember, Kareem was a little disgruntled.
Oh yeah, he was disgruntled too.
Kareem was very disgruntled because it was like, well, hold on. I got all these.
Yeah.
I done put on. I've been the guy. I was the first phenom. Yeah. Listen, come on, man. I was with Bruce Lee. Stop playing around with me. I was.
Well, he wasn't the first phenom.
But I mean, he was with Bruce Lee. I mean, from high school. Yeah, that's Al Cindor. They just knew.
But GD, and you can't be so sensitive because I love Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant feel like he got to respond to everybody.
Yeah.
I like stop it, right? Why do you care?
I think they feel like, if you would poll them, they will say they want that love that Magic and Bird got. They want that love that Jordan got. Like in that era, them people was beloved. Like
Magic was making $500,000. He was the first guy to crack $1 million, right?
Right.
You're $500,000.
You got dudes making $1 million games, $1 million a game now.
$50 million. You're getting $40 million.
Right? So you believe that money? And
there's no question about it.
That's the target.
Because certain people in this world think that only you should make X. That's it. Don't go beyond X here. Because when you go behind X, you go behind X.
This is why they can't be having you in the show, OG. Why you talking
you go
like
behind
this?
X.
This is the reason. The reason they don't be listening. You be missing the action. You can't be telling the truth like that. I'll be telling them all the time. When there's a thought process that you get this and it's public. Oh no!
Well,
no!
I think it's that, but like a guy like Anthony Edwards, it's like much more than just off the court stuff too. Like how is media different? I guess I would say back in the day, dudes could have. They can have baby mamas and things like that, but you wouldn't really hear about them. They wouldn't cover them.
Yeah, you're right.
Anthony Edwards got a dang paternity test every month.
You don't hear about it because that's social media. It was still going on.
Yeah, but I'm saying for the world to see. I ain't saying it wasn't going on.
I ain't gonna say who it was. I was on the team, and we went to play in the Washington Cap Center. Somebody dropped the kid off at the Cap Center with the shoot around.
Oh my God!
I'm like, what is going on here?
Did that child support come out immediately? Did the child support come out off top?
Yeah.
But you get your check, you'd be like.
But it's not. But I'm saying it wasn't broadcasted.
Because they didn't have the avenues.
That's what I'm saying. See, they got Anthony Edwards now. It seems like every month it's a new girl. He's my baby father.
Tyvis, then you got the people out here they feel it's their business to put your business out there.
Yeah.
Let me get your business out here. Don't worry about my business and what I'm doing. Let me tell you about your business.
So that's, to me, like, you think about being the face of the league. It's people out here that's like, I don't want that guy to be the face of the NBA. He's not even, he telling people to have abortions and all these things. So so it's a lot of stuff that go into it from that standpoint. But as far as just like on the court play, like it's still about the same. All the stuff is still the same.
There's a wave of player out here, and I don't want people to get misconstrued thinking that everybody's cut from the same cloth. Victor Wembanyama. When you listen to him, he talking about the right way. You understand? There's a bunch of guys out here, young guys out here that get it. There's a new wave of guy coming out here because the ones that are on top now, they're slowly on their way up out of here. Right?
I think these comments by LeBron, there is so much to unpack out of all of this. First of all, to me, when it comes specifically to Anthony Edwards, he's not worthy of being the face of the league.
You got to win.
No, he ain't there yet.
You got to win.
So that shouldn't even be a conversation for him specifically. Now, when it comes to LeBron, I don't buy that he didn't want to be the face of the league. I don't buy that.
No, he said he was the chosen one.
Yeah, well, you can't. Come on, you can't be on a thing like that. You can't be on a
You
magazine
asked for
like
all of that.
You don't get all the smoke.
Now,
Get all the smoke.
I give LeBron a lot of credit. But that doesn't mean you can't have criticism. And the problem is, my beef with athletes in modern days has always been that you could say 99 good things about a guy, and the guy will never say, thanks for that article. That was great. One bad thing, even if it's fair criticism,
It's a fact.
and you're a bad guy.
That's a fact.
And that's not fair.
I agree, but that's a fact.
There are. I'm gonna push back a little bit.
Yeah.
There are people in our industry that have made a living by being trolls.
Yeah.
You're right, G.
But hold on.
That's true too.
When you got Skip Bayless, who made it his life to just troll, no matter what that man did, to say you calling him Queen James, you calling him
Right.
But here's the part that hits the different right now is Howard Cosell and some of these other guys and John Madden. That wasn't what they was doing. They was calling balls and strikes in the game. We got in this opinion game, and we got
That's
Jim.
that's not a fair comparison.
I watched it. We got
Because those guys were play-by-play
We
guys.
got Jim Rome. We got Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
We got Stephen Ace. These guys,
They eating off other people.
they're eating. They came in with a different shock type atmosphere.
But here's the thing, G. For every Skip Bayless that has killed LeBron, there are other guys that don't. Like I just think it's a bad idea to put everybody under one umbrella. And
we come from that era, bull. That is that.
I'm just saying, I don't like to do that.
But this is
Well, you one of the rare ones.
You might be 2 or 3, but the era we come from, when you was on the radio, it was. Hey, we even go. We Howard Sterns, the Rush Limbaughs. When them radio shows turn and in turn it made LeBron the money that he gets because
that's right.
He became a living. People in China knew him. I think what was hitting LeBron is the unpacking of it is what you said earlier. You said it don't matter how many stats you get, how many games you play, how many awards you get.
You're not gonna pass my guy.
Pass him.
Yeah,
you're gonna pass my guy.
That hits
also
different. And he's thinking like, how the hell can you tell me I done lapped him in points? I done lapped him.
And what they say? Never gonna pass my guy.
That's his frustration.
That is certainly. I think there's also, Michael didn't. The vitriol, like you said.
Oh
Brett,
no, boy, he caused the vitriol.
No, but he didn't have to deal with it on social media. It wasn't in his face.
No.
And LeBron, unlike Michael, has spoken up publicly for political causes, and I credit him for that. But when you do
that rubs people the wrong way.
People go. I've had people say, and we all get it. We all get hate and we get love. I think there are more. I think there's a higher percentage of sports fans and sports media that appreciate LeBron than hate him. But sometimes the haters are louder, or the people. LeBron is more focused on that. I could personally nowhere near LeBron. Obviously, I could get 100 tweets, people telling me they love me, I love you on the radio thing, and one person says, "You asshole, I hope you dropped out of a heart attack," and that's going to stick with me more than the love. And it's unfortunate, but that happens.
Let me say this, because
That's true.
Because let me say this to LeBron James: you've done one hell of a job. That was all laid at your feet to carry this league in a way that you had to carry it under the things and pressure that you had to deal with, that nobody else around here has to deal with what you deal with on a daily basis. I'm gonna need you to step back and just smell the flowers. You had a hell of a run here.
Yeah.
Right? And you should be proud of your run. Right? We're not worried. Okay, stay out the weeds, because you're not gonna please everybody around here. Stay with the people that's with you. And anybody else throwing shade, let it go on, be about your business, because you're not gonna win every battle here. But you look at your body of work and what you have done. Right? I'm amazed. He's 40 years old, still grinding out here. I'm like, what is he doing? How is he doing that?
I told him nuggets. His year in Miami, where he won the MVP, he has better numbers and better defensive. That's great efficiency.
Since he turned 40.
I never seen nothing like that ever
and
in my
more
life.
pressure coming into the league than any player in the history of sports.
But,
and my only beef with LeBron, from personal standpoint, is I think I blame him mostly for the destruction of the All-Star game. Because if LeBron had taken the All-Star game more seriously, every player would follow suit. Outside of that, I got no beef.
There's a wave of player to come back. I think that's going to come back to you, right? But I'll say this, that when you think about the bridges between eras, right? He has done the work, right? And you can't win against a person that has been retired for 30 some odd years, still selling mega shoes. You're not gonna win because I love him for his shoes. Because I don't even know him. I ain't seen him, right? You're not gonna win that.
Because like, I got some LeBrons on today. Shout out to LeBron. But culturally, I think we all understand it. You're not catching Michael Jordan, the cultural significance of what he means.
No.
It just is what it is.
No.
It's just like saying I'm catching Michael Jackson. You're not catching, no, you're not. You could be a star, you could be Taylor Swift. Michael Jackson, again, has grown foreign Korean men passing out just at the sight. Korean dudes. Oh, Michael. How does a... Never mind. McNuggets, you had something to say.
Yeah, Brad, obviously I'm the youngest one. Well, Tyvis is the same age as me, but was not around for some previous eras. I think today with social media, there's just more access to hate than there ever was before.
Yes, it is.
And I'm curious what you think if Jordan had started his career in the social media era, and those first 7 years where he didn't win a championship until he broke through and then won 6, 3 in a row, 2 off because he went to play baseball, and then 3 more again. You look at players today who don't win immediately, and they get immediately labeled with the bust. They can't win the big one. Kind of like Luka, for example, at the what do you think Jordan's career would have been like if he started when LeBron started, I guess?
I think he's been a hell of a player. The access to Michael from so many different angles, it has to at some point get onerous on you. It has to eat at you because they're constantly you're not going to please everybody here, right? So before you still couldn't please everybody, but you didn't hear it. You hear everything now. They'll put it in front of you everywhere. And then I'll take it in front. I'll go back to LeBron, right? The hatred they have, that some people have for LeBron, and just like, they pass it on to his kids now, right?
Right, yeah.
That's what this is, right?
Right.
Now, like, come on now. When did we stop pulling for young people to have at least
a career?
Like, okay, let me see if you get better here, right? No, they come at the kid now like, told you wasn't no good. I told you that, right? And I was like, man, what is wrong with you? Y'all ain't get a life out here.
Do you feel, along with what McNuggets said, do you feel like David Stern in the league insulated Michael Jordan? Like, did you feel like they knew this is our unicorn, this is the guy that's going to pass the torch, and we're going to insulate Mike?
I don't think he insulated him. David Stern was a master marketer. He understood the marketing of the game and how to grow the game marketing-wise. He knew where his bread was buttered. He had a window here. He had a Magic and Bird window that transitioned into Michael. They rode that wave like a horse. That was Secretariat coming in. He wasn't. You're not fooling. We went in the Derby here. We went in the Derby here.
Come on, Mike.
And anybody that starts talking crazy, your credentials are canceled. Your credentials are canceled. You're canceled.
I also
you go to TV deal. Oh, you're gonna pay me.
Michael, the only one to this day that can sit down and do an interview, glasses on, so nobody can see his eyes.
And how hard?
It's just a hobby.
And by the way, I think guys,
I'll be pawning this watch.
I also think some of the hate is Michael never changed teams. I know he played for Washington at the end of his career, but he never changed teams, and because the game was different then, obviously. And players have more power now than they ever have. And there's a certain segment of the fan base that doesn't like that.
It's unsettling.
And that's why you're going to get hate.
Because change is always adversarial to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Right? And this is different. And that's why I said, and that's why I listen to Chuck and them on the show, right? And I understand where they're coming from, right? Because this game is not that game.
Right.
It's not happening here, right? And so you have to appreciate people for what they bring, right? And then the others, I think the access to folks has given folks are doing side podcasts and all kind during the season, right? This is unheard of. It makes it seem like you're not honed in on your craft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what the other dudes was doing when we was playing. They wasn't just going to work every day.
They
wasn't doing that every day. They had business interests too.
Let me speak of the installation. This is a fascinating thing, or just the reach that people have. Like there's certain levels where you know somebody is really famous based upon how easy they're able to get along. Like, can I call you? Like, can you get so and so on the phone? Do you believe it's more difficult to get LeBron on the phone or Michael Jordan on the phone?
Who I think is more difficult to get on the phone?
Like if you had, because obviously basketball is a crazy fraternity.
Yeah.
Y'all know where to get it. Y'all know
Jordan gonna be hard to get on the phone.
So for you to get Mike's voice, you got to go through. It's probably what 10 steps, 12.
Yeah, probably 10 steps. It's a bunch of steps.
That's wild.
It's a bunch of steps.
That's wild.
But I tell you what, you watch growth. Everybody has growth. Right. I mean, I could go back to Chicago. The days they were on mic about so many things, not being in the community, not certain causes.
Right.
And you look at what Mike's doing now. Opening free hospitals in North Carolina.
He's doing a
bunch of stuff here. Right. And I said, you have to give everybody grace and growth. Right. And say, okay, this is what it is. And so that at the end of the day, I step back and I marveled at LeBron James and some of the other people in there, Steph Curry, the things that they're doing out here, right?
Yeah.
They have not harmed this game. They have not. Now, the game has harmed itself sometimes trying to be gimmicky, right? I think at some point, you got to get back to what the game is itself. But at the core of what we're doing here, you have to take a franchise like the Cavaliers. Now, anybody sit here and tell them, the Cavaliers have put this team together right. This team plays the right way. So if you're a fan of basketball, you cannot like this team because they're doing it the right way. And I think there's just more of that on the horizon. OKC is doing it the right way, right? JB in Detroit. I like, you turn it around here.
I heard somebody say yesterday on another show that the Cavs would be the most boring team to win a championship ever. I don't find the Cavs boring at all. I find the style of basketball that they play, even though just like everybody else they shoot a million threes, but the way they share the basketball, the way they move, the way they look for the best possible shot instead of settling more often than most teams, I find it a very fun style of basketball to watch. I don't find the Cavs boring at all. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a fan, but I don't find it boring at all.
I can't tell that it's boring. I mean, the crowds down there are outstanding.
No. Yeah.
The way we play the game, you're enjoyable to watch. I mean, you're tuning in here, not like you let me turn in the fourth quarter. You watching from beginning to end.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say is this. If you're a fan of small markets, putting together and being a player here.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to think the NBA, listen, I know you want your New Yorks to be well and your LAs to be well, but you got to have these other in-between markets because that's where the brunt of the people are.
Yeah.
And so if you can do that, I said, I think you put a product out there that people can like. Now people are not going to like Cleveland because they don't like Cleveland. You come to Cleveland, they say, "Oh, we got to go to Cleveland." I'm just telling you. That's what people think, right? Yeah. Right. George used to be on the plane all the time, tell, "Oh Lord, we're going to Cleveland." That's what he used to say. But then I used to say, "Damn, you have your best games here, though. You must like something."
And bring LeBron and them Lakers out here. That's going to be a great series if we get to it.